When God created the heavens and the earth was without shape or form. The earth was dark over the deep sea, and God's wind swept over the waters. Then God said, "Let there be light." And so light appeared. And God saw how good the light was. God separated the light from the darkness. God named the light day and the darkness night. And there was evening, nighttime. And then there was morning, daytime, the first day. When God created the heavens and the earth, did he previously create the formlessness, the dark? So asked a professor of mine. He wanted to know, when did God create? And therefore, has God finished creating? This week, I hope to invite you to join me on a devotional trek through some of what my investigations into scriptures have uncovered. Come on, let's go. Let's look at the Bible and walk through it and see if we can find some new things. And you know what? Let's start from the very beginning. Oh, wait a minute. Before we go, I'm Reverend Paul Tuttle, a retired Presbyterian minister. And this week I'm going to share with you some ideas that have more meaning to them than we've thought before. First, let's deal with the beginning. Okay, Genesis chapter 1, verses 1 to 5. It'll be our first stop on our new trek. It's always good to start a journey where the trail begins. And so let's go. As I said, Dr. Bruce Metzger, one of my professors, he threw me a curve at the beginning of the very Bible itself, because Bruce Metzger, when I was in seminary in the mid-1970s, simply said, when God began to create, his point, the professor's point, was God didn't finish creating, God took a rest. And so God continues to create opportunities, and not just life itself keeps going and repeats itself, but God creates other things and new ideas and new opportunities and new situations. What's the relationship between heaven and earth? And God said, "Let there be light." Do you think God wanted to see what was going on in that early, before creation, in the chaos and the darkness, to better understand what was going on? God saw how good the light was, how revealing the light was. God needed to see the contrasts between sunlight and no light, or certainly moonlight. And God separated this light, sunlight, from moonlight or dark night. It's as if God wanted there to be a difference. God wanted there to be contrasts. And so God wanted there to be a difference between chaos and order. And it goes on, as God created the rest of the world in those first 7 days, he created humans, male and female. He created good from evil. He created right from doing wrong. He created all animals, including humans, to simply be worried about surviving, to feeling safe and secure in family units. God created the contrast between all the seas and waters of the earth, and then he withdrew the water so that dry land would appear. God created innocence, the Garden of Eden, and then temptation, the resulting of sin, of being tempted to do what God has asked you not to do. This first trek in Genesis chapter 1 started me on the journey to look beyond the obvious, to read what is written there, and yet to look beyond the sentence or the paragraph that has meaning when I did further investigation. So I like to think that God didn't finish creating. I think God continues to create. As creation itself gets better and improved, I think this is what God has in mind. And so this is my first lesson for us as we open up these devotions on the late June, early July. Have a good day. I'll talk to you tomorrow on Tuesday.